Welcome to the Broadway.com show, right here in the heart of the theater district in New York City. I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
Hello there, I'm Imogen Lloyd-Webber. Today we're learning more about new musicals that feature a sponge in trousers, a pop icon who believes in life after love, and people wasting away looking for that lost shaker of salt.
And later, we'll spend time with the entire Tony-nominated cast of A Doll's House Part 2.
But first, let's get started with the news. What's the buzz, Ryan?
Nautical Nonsense is making its way to Broadway. After a hit run at Chicago's Oriental Theater last summer, SpongeBob SquarePants, co-conceived and directed by Tina Landau, will head to the Palace Theater this fall, with previews beginning November 6th. Several stars from the Chicago run, including Ethan Slater as SpongeBob SquarePants, Gavin Lee as Squidward, Lily Cooper as Sandy Cheeks, and Danny Skinner as Patrick, will reprise their roles on Broadway. The new musical, which features tunes by a host of popular artists, including Aerosmith, Sarah Bareilles, John Legend, Lady Antebellum, Panic at the Disco, and David Bowie, follows SpongeBob SquarePants and the denizens of Bikini Bottom as they rally to save their undersea world from total annihilation.
Bikini Bottoms, I just can't. Parrot heads everywhere are celebrating. Escape to Margaritaville, the new musical featuring the songs of Jimmy Buffett, has landed Broadway's Marquee Theatre after On Your Feet finishes up its run on August the 20th. Come From Away's Tony-nominated director Christopher Ashley and choreographer Kelly Devine lead the creative team. Casting will be announced at a later date, although out-of-town engagements in La Jolla, New Orleans and Chicago are being headlined by Paul Alexander Nolan and Alison Luff. Escape to Margaritaville is scheduled to begin previews on February 16th, 2018 and will officially open on March the 15th.
Pop superstar Cyndi Lauper, who jumped into the world of Broadway 4 years ago with the Tony-winning Best Musical Kinky Boots, and became the first solo woman to win the Tony Award for Best Score along the way, has found her next big musical project. The Grammy winner will be writing the music and lyrics for a musical adaptation of the 1988 Oscar-nominated film Working Girl, which starred Melanie Griffith as a woman fighting for the respect of her male peers at a Wall Street investment bank. Playwright Kim Rosenstock, who's also a writer for the hit Fox TV series New Girl, will pen the book. An official timeline and creative team for the show haven't yet been set, but the producers do hope to see the Working Girl musical making its way to Broadway in the near future.
You ought to know that the new musical Jagged Little Pill, based on the Alanis Morissette album, is slated to make its world premiere at American Repertory Theatre. Helmed by Tony winner and ART artistic director Diane Paulus, who steered Broadway's Waitress, the show will feature a book by Oscar winner Diablo Cody, who penned Juno. Ironic, don't you think? Tony winner Tom Kitt is on hand to provide musical arrangements and orchestrations. Casting has not yet been announced, however, Broadway supernova Idina Menzel is set to lead a reading of the show in New York. It's unlikely, though, that Menzel will star in the Cambridge, Massachusetts production next May. She's supposed to be headlining Joshua Harmon's new play Skin Tight during that time. Watch this space.
I'll definitely be watching this space, but I bet you my Third Rock from the Sun t-shirt the next stop will be Broadway.
I think stop, Ryan.
Listen, if Green Day can have a Broadway hit, Alanis Morissette can do it with one hand in her pocket.
Definitely stop, Ryan. Following
a one-night-only 25th anniversary concert performance of Crazy for You back in February, the Tony-winning Gershwin musical will play a limited pre-Broadway engagement next winter at Los Angeles' Ahmanson Theater. Susan Stroman, who won the first of her 5 Tony Awards for choreographing the original Broadway production of Crazy for You, will direct and choreograph the revival, which is scheduled to begin February 7th, 2018. The recent concert performance, which played Lincoln Center's David Geffen Hall, featured bandstands Laura Osnes, Tony Yazbek, Crazy Ex-Girlfriends Rachel Bloom, and Jerry O'Connell. But there's no word yet on whether those stars will take the production to the City of Angels or, fingers crossed, the Great White Way.
I love all those stars. Another Gershwin musical though, how many are there?
Somewhere between 3 and 37.
The new biomusical based on the life of legendary singer Cher is hoping to land on Broadway in 2018. Directed by Jason Moore, with choreography by Christopher Gattelli and a book by Rick Ellis, the show chronicles the life of the music icon and includes hits like I Got You Babe and If I Could Turn Back Time. No word yet on casting, but the tune will feature 3 actresses playing Cher at different points throughout her life. Don't be surprised if you start to see your favourite Broadway actresses working on their 5-minute planks.
Yep, with Cher it's all about the abs, hair, and attitude, but mostly the abs.
I mean, 5-minute planks, unbelievable.
After the break, we'll learn about the lavish design of the Great Comet, sit down at the piano with dear Evan Hansen's Pasek and Paul, and chat with the one and only Chita Rivera. And later, the stars of A Doll's House Part 2 gather in our studio to talk about their fresh and funny play.
What's up? I'm Ben Platt. You're watching the Broadway.com show.
Welcome back. The Fred and Adele Astaire Awards, which celebrates excellence in dance and choreography, were recently renamed the Chita Rivera Awards. At a reception for the 2017 nominees, we caught up with the Broadway legend about this honor.
Well, it's kind of amazing to have anything named after you. I mean, that's not why you're in the business. That's not why you dance. That's not, you know, that is not your passion. It's a gift. It's such a gift. And it's an amazing responsibility.
Chita is an inspiration to all of us, and it just makes great sense that this award is being named for her.
She's just such a iconic triple threat.
A magical goddess being. She's like the patron saint of Broadway dancers.
In addition to being thrilled with the award's new name, nominees had a lot to say about what this honor means to them.
I'm so honored to be nominated for a Chita Rivera Award, or even to be mentioned in the same sentence with the name Chita Rivera.
I know the name has changed, but it's the same feeling and it means the same, and so it's really exciting to be here with all our great dancers, all our great collaborators. It's awesome.
I'm so glad that there is something that is just for dancers.
Dancers, a room full of dancers. That's the best thing you could have.
A lot of the time, you never know who the dancers are in shows. So it's really exciting that I think that there's a trend going on right now in Broadway and in film and media that dance is getting recognized again.
Dying to dance on Broadway? Here's some seriously straight-talking advice from the people at the top of the heap.
Hey, young dancers out there, be you. You are your own secret weapon.
You have to work hard. You have to continually work hard.
Go to ballet class. Some of you will like hearing that, some of you will not like hearing that.
And love it. Love it more than anything else. Love your dance.
Stage favorite Betsy Wolfe will soon be serving piping hot coffee, scrumptious pies, and delicious buttery smooth vocals when she takes over the role of Jenna in Broadway's Waitress, beginning June 13th. We caught up with the star during a recent rehearsal to find out why she's excited to take over for Sarah Bareilles and play the precious pie maker.
First of all, I took it as like the hugest compliment that I was being considered for this role, because I identify with it so much. I've loved it since the moment I saw it. Sarah has been one of my favorite singer-songwriters for years. I think she's brilliant at executing lyrics that tell a story, so I was so excited when I found out she was writing this musical.
In addition to being impressed by Bareilles' Broadway debut performance, Wolfe can't get enough of the Grammy and Tony nominees' music for the show, and the musical's most important message.
Well, the music's ridiculous, so it's you can't really say, like, oh, well, music aside. I mean, it's so integral to the character and what she's going through, but I think I just love that she's this woman who's so broken, and then we get to watch her realize that she had the power in herself the entire time, and we just get to watch her experience that. And for females on Broadway, those roles don't always happen a lot, so I am incredibly grateful and so happy to personally go on this journey every night, but then also get to do that for, you know, thousands of people.
I'll show them all how goddamn happy I am. Sugar, butter, flour, don't let me down. Let's see the next amazing thing baking does now.
Dear Evan Hansen songwriters Ben Pasek and Justin Paul sat down at the piano for us to offer insight about the title character's lonely existence as a high school outsider.
You know, people have talked about what was it based on, or what's the diagnosis of Evan, or what is he suffering from. We always talked about social anxiety because that feels like something we all understand and probably have in varying degrees, but at the same time we wanted to make sure that we all felt like there was some Evan Hansen in each of us.
Evan is sort of surrounded by the internet and seeing everyone else's curated perfect lives, and the sense of loneliness that he feels comparing himself and feeling incredibly isolated and alone sort of was how this song began.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through the window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear. Watching people pass, waving through a window.
Pasek and Paul are longtime friends and longtime musical theater geeks. Even though they're Oscar winners, for these two, there's nothing quite like being part of the Tonys.
The Tonys are the theater nerd Super Bowl. I mean, this is like the best. We went to school and we got BFAs in musical theater, and we're just terrible actors, so we ended up as songwriters. But this is the thing that we would, watch every single year together since we've known each other, and that we congregate to watch. So to be a part of that it's our favorite, coolest experience that could possibly happen to us.
All you gotta do is just believe you can be who you wanna be. Sincerely me.
Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812 has transformed the Imperial Theatre into a vibrant, deep red space that suggests an elegant opera house, a thrumming Russian nightclub, and more. Director Rachel Chavkin explains why.
Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812 was born at a theater called Ars Nova, and that's like a 99-seat space. When we were making it there, Dave Malloy, our composer, writer, had this crazy idea to make like a Moscow supper club that then Mimi Leanne, our set designer, and I took and ran with. And it was very important to us to create a really opulent world. I think Mimi once called it like the inside of a Fabergé egg, or a dream of Russia. And we put dumplings at the table and vodka and black bread. And we embedded into the DNA of this production this immersive, incredibly intimate one-on-one feeling between the performers and the audience.
Set designer Mimi Leanne offers an example of how her work helped to foster the exciting, interactive experience of the show.
By putting chandeliers over the heads of all of the audience, including the audience in the mezz and in the orchestra, it's another device that I'm using to kind of make everyone feel like they're in the same environment and feel like they're not in a theater. The people who populate Tolstoy's books are from all parts of society, and so basically we wanted to create a room where the people are the focus. So there's not, there's not a backdrop, there's not something that tells you what location we're in, but it's really about putting all these people in a room together.
This is at its core a story about a decadent Moscow society that Tolstoy both loved and despised. And so we wanted you to feel that.
When we return, an exclusive roundtable with the stars of A Doll's House Part 2.
You're beautiful. This is the musical of a lifetime. Beautiful, the Grammy-winning Carole King musical, on Broadway at the Stephen Sondheim Theater.
I am sitting here with 4 of the most fantastic performers on Broadway right now, and they're all in the same show. Doll's House Part 2, one of my favorite plays, not just this season, but in many a season. Congratulations, Tony nominations. Sometimes when you're in a play and you get sort of singled out as the nominee, and some of your co-stars maybe don't, and this time, none of those concerns, because you're the 4 stars of the show and you're all nominated. So how does that feel?
It was a happy Tuesday when the nominations came out and we showed up to do our show, and we had a toast with each other afterwards.
And this is very rare that this happens. 8 nominations for a play also. I mean, it's just incredible. Do you feel like you're like the toast of Broadway? How do you feel, Chris?
I'm stunned. Really, I mean, what other words are there? To start out with our script and this cast, and to see what we've come along and ended up with, it's mind-boggling. It really is.
And you've been together now for a while. So the way that this play came together is that you actually did a bunch of like workshop productions, right?
I think we had about 2 last year. Was it? I think 2 workshops last year before we got into rehearsal, and that was really for the writing of it. It was still, you know, Lucas was still constructing it, and so it was. I mean, it was a workshop for all of us, but really it was a workshop so that we could start to hear, so that Lucas could really start to hear the play and what needed to be added, what needed to be taken away, and so yeah, we were kind of in this little Doll's House Part 2. Incubator. Yeah.
This is a sequel, and it's an audacious idea of taking this classic Ibsen play that I don't know that well. I've seen it a few times in my theater-going history. Nora is obviously this iconic character, sort of one of the great, you know, dramatic leading lady roles. And have you ever thought about her before? Have you ever thought about this character before?
Of playing Nora in the original?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't, and you know, I still haven't really played Nora, because so much has happened to her in the 15 years that have passed when she left the house and her husband and children, and then gone off and reinvented herself. So I used that as a free pass just to reinvent the character for myself, you know, because that's whatever you see in the sequel is what was bottled up in Nora in the original, and it just gets to come forward, all of the confidence and the humor, and so it was fun just to start from scratch.
Right, a lot of humor.
A lot of humor. You'd think that it would be a drama, maybe even based on the title, but it's so fresh and contemporary and so funny.
Did you, Jane, did you immediately enjoy the language of it? Lucas Nate, the playwright, the language of it is so great. And I was actually just saying it's so great to read it, too. I was actually reading the script, and it just moves so beautifully. Is that like sort of the ultimate?
It's pretty delicious, yeah, because you have, in terms of expressing yourself verbally, you have really free reign in our own contemporary speech and vernacular and slang, etc. So that's fun. You just can let it fly verbally, but at the same time, the kind of strictures of the period costumes and everything remind you constantly that you're in something extraordinary.
And the structure of it is a bunch of scenes. You all have your own. You all have great entrances. Everybody gets a great entrance. Which I love. Like you
it's like a boxing match. Everyone gets to go up against Nora.
Yeah, I've heard Sam describe the sort of the set, and it's like is it a town hall? Is it a boxing match? Is it a couples counselor? Like there's so many different
psychiatrist office with the box of Kleenex on the set.
Do you feel like you're battling sometimes, like in a boxing match?
I do. I see one leave and the other one come on, and then I'm ready for the next battle. That's how it is. It's a tag team sporting event, and people cheer when characters land a really good point. And the cheers, you know, everyone gets some, because it's very balanced in their viewpoints.
Yeah, the night I went, when you did your monologue in the first scene, and to woo, you woo, and woo. I just remember, like, I remember cheering, and everyone around me cheering. I mean, you're really, like, you're taking on marriage and monogamy, and you're taking on so many issues here.
And then her daughter comes up with a marriage just as strong, with an opposite viewpoint, and gets a cheer. From the audience.
Right. No, exactly. So you really do get to see both sides of it, and I find myself cheering for both. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's so compelling.
When I first read the play, what drew me into it was the fact that I couldn't decide. There was not one person in the play that I sided with the whole time. That's what actually I loved about it, because I thought, oh, what a universal way of approaching this matter, and what a way to present all of these ideas where you realize, like, oh, everyone's right and everyone's wrong because everyone's human.
And they share a passion about what they believe, and I think you always root for people who are passionate about what they're trying to get their viewpoint across.
So strong, different points of view. And you know that the audience is going to agree with a point of view and disagree with another point of view. It's wonderful that they have to listen to the different points of view. I think then they'll walk away, hopefully, and discuss afterward.
I think you said once about it is a play about listening. Watching people have to listen to a viewpoint that they so totally don't believe in, and try to at least absorb some of it.
Be open to it, yeah. It's very timely in that way, this play. I mean, it's good for us. I think this play has a present relevance for all of us, particularly because of in our country, in our political landscape and social landscape and socioeconomic landscape, with people having very disparate opinions and thoughts and strong feelings about things. And this play has disparate feelings and thoughts and strong feelings about things, and it brings an audience, a group of people together, and for the time that we're together, we all have to listen to each other, and we have to listen to each other as characters in the play, and the audience has to listen to the different dynamics and arguments and opinions of the play, and it's great.
So excited for the Tony Awards?
It's gonna be fun.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be acknowledged, you know. It's nice that people think we're doing a good job. It's really nice.
You are. I mean, everyone needs to see it. Doll's House Part 2, and I can't wait to go see it again.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, I'll be back. Trust me, I'll be back, and I'll be hooting and hollering during your monologues. I'll be loud. You encourage that, right? Audiences, you want them to get into it.
They do.
It's very encouraged.
They do.
Thank you so much for coming by. I truly love this show, and it's such an honor to get to sit with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with more of new Waitress star Betsy Wolfe.
Hi, this is Lilias White, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
Thanks for watching the Broadway.com show.
We leave you with another look at Waitress star Betsy Wolfe, giving us a taste of her new gig in the hit musical.
See you next week.
Twist it into